West Agar Sports, ahoy! Just jumping on a little bit late here for this one. Sydney Thunder taking on the Perth Scorchers in what is a must-win for the Scorchers. It is hard to fathom that they've got themselves in this situation. The Scorchers, one of the powerhouses typically of the Big Bash. And here they find themselves on the very brink, needing to win this game to stay alive in the tournament. They've won the bat flip. They've elected to field first, and we've seen that has yielded over the past couple of games very, very different results. Sam Constas on strike for the first ball, and he gets an outside edge down to third man for a single. He's off the mark, and we are off and running in this one. So the Perth Scorchers winning the bat flip, electing to field first. Will Main, ahoy there, mate. And Monique Martin, ahoy. West Agar Sports live on YouTube, live on TikTok for this must-win game for the Scorchers. I've gone for the Scorchers. I just feel like the Sydney Thunder, their batting lineup looks just a little light on. Chris Green's coming in at number 6. They'd usually have Daniel Sams in there, of course. We all know what happened there. Poor Daniel Sams. So I just think it looks a little bit weak here, the Thunder bat. Well, I mean, I won't say weak because you've got Constas, you've got Warner. They could pretty much single-handedly do the job themselves, that partnership. As Warner drives straight to the man at mid-on. A dot ball. Yeah, so weak is probably not the right way to say it, but a little light on, a little short. Without Daniel Sams there coming in and doing some damage at the back end. The Scorchers as well, no Mitch Marsh again tonight. Mitch Marsh apparently is being held back for home games only to spend time with his family. Inside edge onto the pads, and then it skews away to the offside. They race through for a single, but David Warner, he hasn't got one out of the middle of the bat. A cheeky little feather. And this is good bowling, Berendorf. So as a result of being a little bit late going live, we're a little bit behind here on the scoreboards. So I'll get those up and running as quickly as possible with as little distraction as possible as Constance pushes back down the ground for a single. And just one ball left. Michelle, ahoy there. And back onto the traditional captains tonight, Will. Look at this. I've got a couple lined up, ready to go. I had the one that I was drinking before the stream, and I've got one pre-poured so that I don't have to leave. Warner lifts this over the top. Didn't quite get all of it, but he's got more than enough. And that's away for the first boundary of the night. Ian Greaves, ahoy there. Welcome along. End of the first over. It's none for 7. A combination of some good bowling and, in the end, some good batting. Apparently, on TikTok, you can't say ahoy on its own. Well, there you go. This day went very quick. I was actually up early for my standards. I was up about 10 o'clock. Which is very early for me. Hunter, Gray, ahoy there. Kyle Sharp, ahoy. Got my tips in, yes. Pretty sure. God, I had to think about that, didn't I? For anybody viewing and saw my face then, I very confidently answered yes, but my face said, Christ, I hope so. Morris in to bowl the second over. And David Warner's on strike. Constas is on strike, sorry. And he hooks this one away. He's got enough on it, and there's the first 6 of the game. Constas, we know what he's like. He's not going to die wondering. It's going to be all or nothing every single time. "100% Will. We're going to be doing NRL Fantasy this year as well. And, of course, the Waste of World of Sports traditional now NRL tipping comp. Morris in again. A little bit straighter. And a nice adjustment. Constas cuts it away to the offside. The prize, the prize is a $500 gift card from the Super Group. The Super Group, of course, are responsible for Rebel Sport, BCF and Fun. I know they're just called BCF, but it's a lot more fun to say the catchphrase BCF and Fun, and a couple of other places as well. Super Group, but really, the only things people are interested in are Rebel Sport, typically Rebel Sport or BCF. So I don't know what the other places are. Before all that, though, we've got the Six Nations coming up. We'll be doing Six Nations, either tipping or fantasy, whatever the case may be, whatever's available to us. If the Thunder win, are the Stars safe? Absolutely not. Morris in again. Bend it away from Constas. Another dot ball. He is going to be getting frustrated. And we saw what happened the other night when frustration set in. Constas trying to play the big shot and getting himself out. Will he rein himself in here tonight? Hunter, all the information will be available a lot closer to the date. I'll make sure there's a separate video on how to enter and all of that. And all the details as Constas does get sick of being bogged down and pulls this away to the onside for 4. Through mid-wicket. A beautiful shot. He did get frustrated. He did go for the big shot, but he was well and truly in control of that one. And we'll also put all the information up on wastedsports.com.au, the official website of Wasted World of Sports. 1 ball left here in this over. Morris to Constas. Whips this away on the offside this time. 1 bounce over the rope for 4. And this is a good start now for the Thunder. None for 21. 2 overs gone, but just running through the table quickly. The Perth Scorchers, this is a must-win. Their season is basically done and dusted if they don't win here tonight. The Thunder can afford to lose, but they obviously, as I always say, they won't want to. Who wants to lose? But they will remain in the top 4, at least temporarily. But certainly at risk of being run down by the chasing pack with a loss. And the Thunder's last game. Will be against the Sixers. The Sydney Sixers. That'll be the Thunder's last game. So really for them to feel absolutely certain about a top 4 spot, they'll be throwing it all on the line here to get the win. Beardman into bowl. Beardman on debut. We've seen a mixed bag with the debutants so far. Off the top edge, Warner, but he's got enough on it to land it safely over the circle. Cooper Connolly races out and covers that off, and they come back for 3. Matt Corkin. Kyrgios, 4-3 in the first set. Looks injured. You never know with Nick Kyrgios, though, do you? Because when things aren't... And obviously he's up 4-3, but in tennis, you can be up and things are not necessarily going your way. He likes to tank it a little bit when things aren't going his way. It's really hard to tell with him. Beautiful drive through the offside from Constas. And that will almost go to the boundary. It's well fielded out there, but they should come back for 3. And they are motoring along now. Motoring along. Renegades on top. Ahoy, mate. Welcome back. None for 27. 2.3. They're deciding to target the debutante here. Oh, that's 4. This is going to be 4. A foot touching the rope. Oh, such a good effort there in the outfield, but unfortunately it amounts to nothing. 4 runs there for Constas. And an extra run for the Thunder. None for 28. It becomes... The Scorchers winning the bat flip, electing to field first, and that has been a little bit of a poor decision in the recent games, hasn't it? Constas fends back down the pitch, a dot ball. A very mixed bag. Kalen Dub. Welcome back, sir. Two deliveries left here. He's first over in Big Bash. Constas charges him and lifts him down over the long on fence for 6. Well, they've really decided to target Beardman here on debut. Constas and Warner have said, we are going to have every little piece of you. Youngster versus youngster. Well, they've got to break this partnership. The sooner the better. The Scorchers can't afford these two out there in form. It'll be bad enough just one, but to have them both out there in form as they come back for a quick second run. Dangerous, but they get there quite comfortably in the end. None for 36. 3 overs gone. Motoring along here, the Thunder. On the back of Constas, really. 28 runs off 12 balls. David Warner, again, playing that controlled innings. Just going along slowly. We know that he's going to pick it up at the back end. Jason Callaway, ahoy, mate. Happy New Year. And glad to hear you had safe travels. There we go. So I finished that one. And I had pre-poured this one. Ready to go. None for 36. Wow. Okay. So the Scorchers have got to break this. Morris, none for 14. Oh, they're very refreshing, Will, and I was just so thirsty. I'm always thirsty. Morris bangs it in short. Warner with a leading edge, chops it up in the air, and they've got the breakthrough. Warner just trying to do a delicate little turn away down to third man. Lofts it in the air, scoops it up off the top edge. straight to the man at point on the circle. David Warner is gone. And so too is my multi, because I had David Warner for 10 plus runs. Another multi done and dusted before the power play's over. Mission number 1 accomplished, though. They broke that partnership. One for 36, and the power play looking a little bit better now as Jilks comes to the crease. Remember, we were talking at the top of the stream, the lack of depth seemingly in the Thunder's lineup, with Chris Green coming in at number 6. They do not bat very deep. Jilks now looks to pull this away. It's wide down the leg side. And the referee calls it as such. Referee? Umpire. The umpire calls it as such. Oh, wow. 1 for 37. The beautiful thing about BBL 14, and I'm sure everyone will agree with this, the most fantastic thing about the tournament this year is that pretty much everybody is still mathematically in with a chance of making the 4. And we're only a few games away from finals time. Obviously, some teams have a lot more realistic chance than others, but nobody is completely mathematically written off. A couple of teams are unlikely, like the Renegades and the Strikers, Scorchers if they lose this. But nobody is mathematically out of it as Jilks gets in on the action. And he lifts this over the top of cover for 4. Keeping the momentum going after a wicket loss is crucial. 1 for 41 it is. Sneaky Snake asks what team I think will win the BBL. I'll tell you what, I am loving the look of the Hobart Hurricanes. I think they'll be very hard to beat. Driven down the ground, Jilks is straight into his work. This is racing over the outfield for 4, down to long off. Fantastic shot. Who will come second? Probably the Sixers. Jilks now backs away, resists the urge to have a swing at that, pulls out of the shot. Yeah, good question. Alaura, what's happening out there? Maybe I should go check. I don't know. It could be a snake on the back door, for all I know. They're hanging about at the moment. Swing and a miss there from Jilks, or has he gloved it? A piece of glove, a big appeal, and they're going to review this. Well, Jilks, it did seem to travel through to the keeper very slowly. Jilks has tried to pull this away, and it has just kind of looped through to the keeper very, very slowly. A big appeal, not given on the field, but they are now going to have a review. They seem very confident here, the Scorchers. Oh, that's hit something. It might have hit his arm. I reckon that might have hit his arm. It's hit something, though. That's created that little bobble through to the keeper. It's hit his elbow. Well, we need to see if it's also brushed the glove on the way through. Ultra Edge will confirm this. And it's taken a piece of the glove, and Jilks is going to be on his way. He got hit flush on the forearm, or elbow there. But it's also brushed the glove, and Jilks is on his way. It's 2 down now, and things are just turning in favour of the Scorchers. 2 wickets in that over, and they end the power play with a couple of big wickets. But Sam Constas still out there, the one who was doing majority of the damage. Yeah, so for those asking, I go for the Brisbane Heat. And since the Brisbane Heat won't be playing finals this year, I had sort of adopted the Melbourne Renegades as my backup team. And since they won't be playing the finals this year, who am I going to go for? Well, as I said, I like the look of the Hobart Hurricanes. And the Hobart Hurricanes have never won the competition. So who could really begrudge them? Yeah, I said a mathematical chance. I also said it's very unrealistic for some. White Heart, Purple Hearts. Ahoy, welcome back. As soon as I don't watch it, another one gets out. Ashton Agar. Because they're bloody terrible, Will. That's why. They're a very, very hard team to support. Two for 46. Cohen Super Duper, can the Perth Scorchers still make the finals? Absolutely they can. Now, the problem for a lot of the teams is if they make the finals, they're going to lose some players. Who will be most affected by Australia's tour to Sri Lanka? The Sydney Sixers are obviously massively dented. The Heat will lose Khwaja and Labuschagne, but who cares because they don't even play anyway. They haven't played a single game all season. So it's really not going to mean anything with them gone. Cooper Connolly's going. Ah, that's right. McSweeney got picked, didn't he? Yeah, so McSweeney's going. Bugger. For the Scorchers, Cooper Connolly will be going. Good over this one from Ashton Agar. 4 dot balls, just the single off the opening delivery. And a single here. Billings. Out to deep point for 1. Mitchell Marsh is not playing tonight. No, Hooves. End of the 5th over. And that's a good one for the for the Perth Scorchers, sorry. A couple of wickets. And just starting to slow things down a little bit. Hitchy sent a TikTok. Thank you very much, Hitchy. Cooper Youngblood Connolly into the bowling attack. Taking on Sam Billings here. Billings backs away. Plays it back down the pitch to the bowler for a dot ball. Good start. Cooper Connolly, one of my favourite players in BBL 14. It will be sad to see him depart, but a great opportunity for him. So, two dot balls to start. The Scorchers reeling things in nicely. Floats this one up. Played back to Connolly for another dot ball. This is good bowling. And Sam Billings' frustration. And frustration for Constas too. Standing down the other end. Itching to get up there. And here we go. Punching it down the ground to long off for a single. Connolly versus Constas. Oh yes. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. What a battle. Cooper Connolly to bowl to Sam Constas. The battle of the youngsters. Constas chops it away out to point for a single. What an anticlimax. But just 2 runs from this over so far. I said he'll never get picked for test matches again. We were talking about the test teams specifically. Up the NRL. Absolutely, you still pick Mitch Marsh in a one-day squad or a T20 squad. But test cricket, Bonskis, forever. End of the over, it's 2 for 50. 6 overs gone. Will Main, you have seen behind the scenes of my setup. What have you been doing? Trawling YouTube footage. Oh, on Michelle's page. Yeah, probably. I was going to say that, either that or you saw the studio tour video on YouTube. Ashton Agar in for his second over. None for 2 in his first. Just a single. Constas back on strike. I don't sit down well. I'm too hyper. Too hyperactive to be restrained to a seat. Just 2 singles. Ashton Agar bowling extremely well here tonight. Floats this one up. Billings flips it away, square on the leg side, thinking about a second. Just the one. 2 for 53. Also, for if there's any professional wrestling fans out there, we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to be streaming for the Royal Rumble on February 2nd, myself and Jace. TikTok is yet to meet Jace. Whether wrestling's your bag or not, it's a good lot of fun nonetheless. Constas backs away, chops it out to deep point. Protection there. Just the single. Nick Clark hopes John Cena wins the Rumble. I think he probably will. Constas goes for the big loft on the onside. Doesn't get hold of it at all. And just another single. 2 for 55. 7 overs gone. And the Scorchers have slowed things down very, very well here. Ankur Sharma Told you yesterday, Stars won, and today Perth. Well, I've gone for the Perth Scorchers. I've tipped them. It's double points this week in the Wasted Water Sports Tipping League. I did not know that. That was a very nasty surprise. And very unfair, may I say. Very unfair to the person, whoever it is, on top of the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest at the moment. Very unfair that it's double points this week. Beardman on debut. Back in for another over. He got to bowl during the power play. Baptism of fire, as they say. And Sam Constas absolutely tonked him around the ground. Austin, ahoy there, mate. I go for the Brisbane Heat. Wicket coming soon. Absolutely. If you're a betting person, I'd certainly be locking in a bet on a wicket coming in the next 10 deliveries. They've got them bogged down. Constas especially will get frustrated. And quite possibly he will haul out to somebody in the outfield. Beardman. Oh, he nearly chops on there, Constas. And they race through for a quick single as the ball just dribbles away off the pitch. 2 for 57. Beardman on debut. A rough first over for him, but this one's been a lot better. Just 2 singles off it so far. Charging in here. And Billings charges down the wicket, picks out the man at mid-off, who fires it in and cleans up Constas. Unintentionally, of course. He says, sorry, mate, and it's a dot ball. Much better bowling this from Beardman. It's a difficult situation, isn't it, to be on debut and get thrown into a power play, and you've got to bowl to David Warner and Sam Constas. But he's certainly recovered well, and he's bowling a lot better. Billings slashes at this outside off, and it's through for another dot. That run rate was over 10. After 4 overs, it was over 10. And they've pulled that right back now to 7.43. Been some good bowling. Seven more deliveries we've got for the predicted wicket. Billings on strike. Pulls this one away. There's a man out there and it bounces short of him. It will just be one. And Constas back on strike. 1 ball left in this over. I've tipped the Scorchers in this one. Scorchers, I think, will be very, very desperate, looking to keep their season alive. And I'm also a little concerned about the depth of the Thunder batting, as this is an inside edge back past the stumps. And Constas, he's just lost all rhythm out there at the moment. He's got away with quite a few inside edges that have either not gone back onto the stumps or certainly not looking as comfortable as he started. And that run rate continuing to drift in here for the Scorchers, bowling well. Two for 59, 8 overs gone. That's crazy. The Thunder were The Thunder were like 40 runs, 40 plus runs after the power play. Oh, chance of overthrows here. That's poor fielding. And they do come through for the single. $60 on the board. Boy, they've slowed them down. The last 30 balls, 23 runs, 1 wicket. Connolly bowls him! Well, there it is. We predicted it. Cooper Connolly rips through Sam Billings. And there we go. We set a wicket within the next 10 balls. I think it was 7 balls in the end. Billings has been clean bowled. They were just getting frustrated. And when you frustrate batsmen, they look for the big hit. And Sam Billings departs. And there goes the rest of my multi, because I had Sam Billings to hit a 6. A raise of the glass to Ankur Sharma. Great minds think alike. Joker, ahoy. I hope I'm saying that correctly, by the way. Ankur Sharma. George Garton. Out to bat, 3 for 60. 8.2 overs gone. Cooper Connolly. Clean bowling, Sam Billings. Now Garton lofts it. Just scoops it up. But there's nobody there at mid-on. They come through for a single. Rock my balls. Ahoy there, mate. No Melbourne teams tonight. Would you like to go for Sydney or Perth? It's probably better for both of your Melbourne teams if Sydney win. So maybe go for Sydney. You know what? One of these days, I will actually tidy up in here and I can do a behind-the-scenes video. A quick video on TikTok, behind the scenes. But it's a fresh install. Like, I've done a lot of work over the holidays. So there's sort of cables everywhere and crap everywhere. So once I've tidied up, I'll do a video off the glove. Turns it away fine on the leg side. Through for another single. Four runs and a wicket off that one for Cooper Connolly. 2 overs, 1 for 6 for him. He's bowling well. But what do I think the Thunder get to? Well, it's always hard to predict, isn't it? Because look at what happened last night, right? We thought for sure the Stars were going to get bowled out for under 100. And Glenn Maxwell lifted them up. But the Sydney Thunder, well, Constas would have to take on the Glenn Maxwell role. But this has been absolutely incredible. They had such a good power play. And then wickets have slowed them down. Jhye Brockyhurst. I go for the Brisbane Heat, which, apart from last year, has been quite stressful. Very stressful team to support. Brisbane Heat. Spores down the leg side. Poor start. Starting with a wide. Gift runs. Garton gets it right in the slot, but he doesn't get hold of it. There's a man down there at long on who takes a simple catch. And another wicket falls. Garton's gone for one. It's 4 for 64. They're falling to pieces here, the Sydney Thunder. And the Perth Scorchers, a long way to go and still a lot of work to do, but they're keeping their season alive. Garton has tried to send it, but all he does is find the man at long on. 4 for 64, 9.1 overs gone, and they've called drinks. Which is fine with me. I'll grab a drink as well. Be right back. No New Zealand teams participating. Rock my balls. No, there's been conversation. There's been constant talk about a New Zealand team being incorporated into BBL. I don't think it's necessary. And also, it's probably not going to happen now that the New Zealand cricket have started the Super Smash, which apparently is going really, really well. Come here, you. Come. Yeah, so New Zealand have got their own version of the Big Bash. So, look, I wouldn't change it at all. I would not. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't think it's broken. BBL 14 has been one of the most exciting that we've ever seen, in my opinion, anyway. The way that it's going at the moment. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't change it at all. Four for 65. The drinks break is over. Well bowled by Spores. Yeah, it had quite a few lean years. Well, see, what happened was, Brody, they expanded the amount of games. It used to be, I'm pretty sure, it used to be when BBL first started, it used to just run over Christmas and New Year's. And then they expanded it. I think it started in early December and carried through to February. And people just got overburdened with it, I think. Burnout. So this year, they've contracted it all back again. The teams are only playing 10 games each. And it's been brilliant. So I think that should show Cricket Australia that this is the way. This is the way to go. Leave it as it is. And each game has been very important, as we were talking about at the top of the stream. Mathematically, maybe not realistically, but mathematically, everybody is still a chance of making the finals. And that's what you want. I mean, that is every competition promoter's dream. As Connolly comes back into the attack, starts with a single. Every tournament promoter's dream is to be able to say, look, we're this close to the end of the season and everybody is still a chance, realistic or not. Super Rugby resumes on February the 16th. Nice. And, of course, the Six Nations is coming up. Plenty of rugby. And the NRL just around the corner. Constas gets an outside edge. He opened the face. Racing away to third man, but it's fielded. And they come back for a second. My favourite sport, hands down, Jack, is rugby union. We do mainly rugby league on the channel because the NRL is what the YouTube channel was built around. We've expanded into Big Bash for the first time. This BBL 14, first time that we've covered it. And we've also expanded out to TikTok for the first time as well. Reverse. Constas goes the reverse. And he sort of paddles it around all the way over the top of the stumps, and the keeper square of the wicket on the opposite side. The Lions tour will be something special for sure. I'm not going to lie, I think we could be on the verge of history. I think Greeny says, what kind of shot was that? It was funny because Constas went for the reverse. He went for the reverse sweep, and he ended up playing more of a... Well, he played a reverse sweep, but the ball ended up getting scooped over to like a traditional leg side shot. Anyway, one of my bold predictions for the rugby union year ahead is that I'm not saying that it will happen, and I certainly, as an All Black supporter, don't want it to happen, but this is Australia's best chance in a long, long time of reclaiming the Bledisloe Cup. The last time Australia held the Bledisloe Cup, John Howard was the Prime Minister. Australia have never held the Bledisloe Cup in the entire existence of Twitter. There has never been a tweet about the Wallabies winning the Bledisloe Cup. But I think 2025 is their best chance yet in a very, very long time. There you go, Michelle. Another request for AFL. I've made a tweet as well, Thomas, actually. I was playing one of the rugby games, and I did a screenshot of the Wallabies winning the Bledisloe Cup, and I said, how do you know this is a video game and not real life? Because the Wallabies are holding the Bledisloe Cup. Spores in again. Just 3 singles and a 2 off this over, and a dot ball. Rip Van Winkle, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. 4 for 74 here, 11.5 gone. Wibgen turns it away on the leg side, pushing for 2. They settle for 1 as the fielder comes charging in. Restricts them to just the 1 run. 4 for 75, 12 overs gone. Wow. Well, they've got to take the power surge, you would think. There's really no point. Chris Green's going to be in next. I mean, Constas has got to take on the Maxwell role here, basically, if they're going to get up to any kind of score. Constas has got to take the surge, lead the surge, do the damage. So they might not call it here, actually, because Wiebken's on strike. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to burn through a delivery. Agar into Wiebken. Starts with a dot ball. He's bowled so well here. Ashton Agar and Cooper Connolly, the two spinners. And Spores has helped out. Agar, none for 7 off 2.1. Oh, and he beats the bat. Wiebken had no idea about that one. Looking to turn it away on the leg side. Agar rips it in, and it beats the outside edge. Spinning all the way outside off. What a delivery. Swing and a miss again. And a stumping chance, but he's back home. I don't think he ever lifted. Well, we're going to have a look, but I don't think he ever lifted that foot up. This is some remarkable bowling. Wiebken, he lifted the foot briefly, but he's back in. Toby Willis, ahoy there. Bodes says, come on, Scorchers. Greeny says, great bowling by the spinners. It really has been. It really, really has been amazing from the spin bowlers here. Rock my balls. Dan, what's your thoughts on the fire in LA recently? Tragic. Horrible. Yeah, absolutely terrible. And something that I feel doesn't get mentioned anywhere near enough. Clean bowled. We'll come back to that. Clean bowled. Ashton Agar, some great reward for some fabulous bowling. And Wiebken, 6 off 11. He was just getting bogged down too much. And he has now been clean bowled, going for the big slog sweep on the onside. Ashton Agar rattles the stumps. Another one falls. 5 for 75. Bo Cookie, you need the Thunder to win so the Strikers can make the finals. Billy says, I don't think Maxwell could save the Thunder right now. I reckon Maxwell would certainly take the challenge, though. Ofa Katoa found a weak spot in the Thunder. Heavily reliant on Warner, will crumble and miss a chance to win the comp. I think that's a pretty fair criticism of the Sydney Thunder as well. They talked about it on the TV. The statistics of the Thunder's win rate when David Warner doesn't get runs. And it's quite abysmal. Constas is 40 or 31. He's got to take the lead. He has to take the lead, Constas. 2 balls left in this over, and then we'll come back to your question. Rock my balls. Agar floats it up. Again, another beautiful ball driven back down the ground for a single. Unfortunately, Ofa, I go for the Brisbane Heat. It's a struggle. I know we won the comp last year, but it's a struggle to support that team. Agar floats it up. Constas drives it down the ground. And they come through for a single. All right, they've got to take the power surge. Now, they have to. Constas has the strike. He can control it Maxwell style from ball 1. They're running out of opportunities to take it now. They've got to take it, surely. Right? Anyway, Rock My Balls asked me about my thoughts on the fire in LA. Obviously, tragic, horrifying, terrible thing to have happened. But can I just say something that doesn't get raised enough, in my opinion? I just want to say my thoughts, obviously, with the people, but also, can I say, my thoughts are with all those helpless animals that will be freaking out, having no idea. Like, they're losing their homes as well. And they'll be freaking out equally, if not more, than the humans. A thought for them, too, the animals in the fires that are losing their lives and homes and whatnot. I don't think it gets mentioned enough. Obviously, we're humans. We focus on the human side of things. But, yeah, I don't think it gets enough coverage. The animals that are being tortured in all this as well. Cooper Connolly back into the attack. They have not called the power surge. They have not called the power surge. I can't believe it. Well, what are they waiting for? Another wicket to fall? Another wicket to fall here? Unbelievable. Cooper Connolly bowling well. Ashton Agar bowling well. So obviously for the Thunder, we are seeing that the spin bowling is going extremely well. So could it be Chris Green's night? Connolly sends it down, fields his own bowling with an army roll. Cooper, Youngblood, Connolly. Another dot ball. A reverse sweep. Constance gets under it just enough. And it's over the top of backward point and shot. Oh, he's over the fence. He's had a tumble over the fence, trying to chase that one down. And it's a much-needed boundary. It's been a long time between drinks. Constance moves to 46 off 35. First boundary in 10 overs, says DeHaans. Oh my God, it's worse than I even realised. And they come through for a single. Surely they call the power surge now. Surely. Constance is back on strike. They've got to call it. What are they waiting for, honestly? Sydney Thunder fans, any answers? Behrendorff to come back in. And by waiting to call the surge as well. Oh, God. To continue watching, switch over to... Just keep it on one channel, Channel 7, please, for the love of... All right, I'll calm down. And by calling the power surge early, you challenge the opposition to bring their top-line bowlers back in earlier than they want to. The Scorchers have been able to wait. Behrendorff probably bowls the 15th over. Anyway, whether they call the surge or not, Behrendorff probably bowls now anyway. So I don't know. I mean, sometimes when you're on the back foot, you've Constance on 47 scoops it over the top of the infield. There's a man out there at cover. Deep cover. Just the one. Do we understand what I'm trying to say here? It's like if you're on the back foot, you've got to try something to try and throw the opposition off their line of thinking. Call the power surge immediately, over 10. Make them use a Behrendorff or somebody that they weren't necessarily thinking about using until later on. Just change things up. Make the opposition think and do something different. The Scorchers have just been allowed to dictate terms here. Five for 86. Constance back on strike. Looking for his 50. Berendorf, 2 singles to start. A slower ball outside off, and the keeper drops it. And it's away for a bye. 1. They don't come back for a second. Finn Allen missing that ball. So Constas remains on 48. Berendorf to Green, wide outside off, gets the top edge just past the short third man. And it's away for 4. Ham and cheese, ahoy mate. It wasn't with a lot of authority, but it's 4 runs nonetheless. Certainly wasn't where he was aiming. Green was trying to... I suppose I'll give him a little bit of credit there, Chris Green. He did kind of roll the wrists through as if he were whipping it behind third man there. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there on that one. That's the shot I think he was trying to play, though, in all honesty. Over the top of the infield, down to long off for a comfortable single. No, we were talking about... ahoy there, Cozza. How are you, mate? We were talking about my concerns for the Sydney Thunder tonight. Chris Green coming in at 6. They're very, very light on in the batting stakes without Daniel Sams. Driven down the ground, at least 1. Do they come back for 2? Pushing for the 50. Oh, sorry, Constas wasn't on strike. They ran 2 that ball before. I didn't realise. So Constas is still on 48. It's 5 for 95. 15 overs gone. All right, they've got to call the surge, right? I know I've been saying that for about 4 overs now, but they have to. So 5 for 95. 5 overs to go. In this back end of the game, you expect at least 6 runs and over, and they've been going along at 6 runs and over for the entire innings overall. So 6 and over is another 30 run. They've finally called it. The power surge has been called at last. Watch them go and lose a wicket on ball 1 now. They waited so long. Morris, 2 for 23. In to bowl the first over. Constas on strike. 48 runs off 38 balls. Moves across to the offside, gives himself room. Morris follows him all the way across, and it's through for a dot ball. James Kane says, do that again. What, the power surge? Five for 95. Morris starting with a dot ball. Should Jake Fraser be dropped? We'll come back to that. Pumped down the ground. Constas brings up his 50. He just flat bats it straight back past the bowler. A much-needed boundary and a 50 for Sam Constas. $52 or 40 deliveries. And he does hold the keys here for the Sydney Thunder. The Glenn Maxwell role, if they're going to get some sort of score. And we always talk about it, right? We always say 130, 140 at the very minimum. At least you give yourself something to bowl at. Constas gets tightened up this time. Didn't get full contact there, and just a single to mid-on. Well bowled by Morris. What a reply. And the 100 is up. 5 for 100. No, I personally did not catch it, Ofa, as to what he was paying for a 50 tonight. Swing and a miss. Well, this is pretty early in the over for Green to be on strike, and I think they realise that too. They've raced through for a bye. They have come storming through for a bye there. 5 for 101. Two deliveries left here. The first over of the power surge. Bangs it in the slot. Constas doesn't get all of it. Running around and taking an amazing catch from deep mid-wicket is Hobson. And Constas is gone. What a catch from Hobson on the boundary. Making great ground to his left. Falling in the process of taking the catch. Does the worst army roll you'll ever see in your life, but still, the ball stays in. That's the important thing. Loses his hat. He doesn't care about that. He didn't lose the ball. What a take. That's a big wicket. That is the big one. Constas goes for 53. It's 6 for 101. And now you would have to say the Perth Scorchers well on top. But as we always say as well, never judge a pitch until both teams have batted on it. How many times have we seen a game turned around from a seemingly unwinnable position? Cricket is just one of those sports where you can't judge until closer to the end. Nathan McAndrew out to bat now. McAndrew and Green to try and see out the rest of this power surge. I've got a feeling another wicket is on its way in the next few balls. McAndrew plugs it away to the offside. Can't beat the circle. They come through for a single. A sensational over from Morris. He goes to 3 for 29. DeHons says, what a catch from the accountant. Jack Smith says, great catch. So yes, UTS Chicken, who would I say is winning so far? Well, clearly you would have to say the Scorchers on top. But yeah, I'm afraid to say anything after the swings that we've seen in games the past few. Aguero, want to hear how I calculated how the Renegades could make it to the finals? Oh, they've just got to win their remaining games and hope that a couple of other teams don't win theirs. Oh, yes, absolutely nobody is mathematically out of the finals contention just yet. But what have you got, mate? What have you got specifically? Obviously, part one is the Renegades need to win and keep winning. Berendorf to bowl the second power surge over. Harlan, S-Footy. The Scorchers are surely on top. 6 for 103. Constas gone. You would have to think they have the advantage. Let's see what Sportsbet says. Sportsbet will surely have the Scorchers as very short-priced favourites. Yes, indeed. Oh, Green gets it in the slot, lifts it to the leg side, and they've stood and watched it. It lands between them. Somehow, Chris Green finds the gap out there. So, the Perth Scorchers are $1.26, and the Sydney Thunder have blown out to $3.75. Yeah, shoot it through, Aguero. That's fine. Constas got his 50 barbs. He got 53, and then he got out. Green pulls this one away hard. Out to deep mid-wicket, just the one. Behrendorff bowling well. And the field is set perfectly as well. Six for 106. UFC, ahoy, mate. Three balls left of the power surge. But the Scorchers have just continued to contain it. At no point, ever since they pulled things back, at no point have the Thunder gone back above 7 and over. Well, they might now. McAndrew finds the gap square of the wicket. And boy, did they need that. 4 runs. 3 overs to remain after this one. 18. You would expect at least 18. This is the way that I look at it anyway, personally. 3 overs to go. We'll see what they get off the remaining 2 balls, but you would expect at minimum, non-negotiable minimum, for the back 3 overs, you would expect 6 runs and over. Absolute bare minimum. As McAndrew flat backs it back down the ground for another 4. Well, could McAndrew steal some runs here at the back end? There is another ball to go. And this has turned into a good over for the Thunder, despite the wicket previously. The previous over. 11-12 from it. That's good runs off Behrendorff. 1 ball left in the surge. He bangs it in short, top edge. Should be caught. The man on the circle backs up, gets under it, and takes it comfortably. Short, fine leg takes it. McAndrew is gone. He's frustrated with himself. 7th wicket falls. 114 on the board. So even though we are well and truly into the tail now, 17 overs gone, 3 overs left. From the Thunder's perspective, an absolute minimum, absolute bare minimum, 18 runs. They've got to go for at least 6 and over. 18 runs gets them 132. If they can sneak some 2s and the odd boundary, they may get up to 140. If they can get up to 140, that's at least something to bowl at. If they just get ripped through these next 3 deliveries with very few runs made, then they sort of left themselves out of runs to defend. So that's what I always say anyway. If you're in trouble, make your first target at least 130, 140. It's not the greatest score in the world, but it's at least something. Thomas Andrews out to bat, not out, but out to bat. 7 for 114, 17 overs gone. Ashton Agar, 3 overs, 1 for 9. What an amazing bowling performance. Ashton Agar leading the way. Cooper Connolly has been involved. Spores has been involved. Well, it's been cut away. And protection out there. Protection at deep point. Just a single. Seven for 150. Whoa, Jesus. Spilt my drink. 7 for 115. Andrews turns it away fine on the leg side, just with the 1 run. 4 deliveries left. Agar, 1 for 11 off 3.2. HC, ahoy there. Constas got 53. Another single punched down the ground. Green moves to 16 off 12. Andrews, 1 off 1, gets the under edge. Outside off stump, though. No threat of going back onto the stumps. And Finn Allen protects it. Dot ball. Andrews cuts this one away. Man's out there at deep backward point. Just a single. Yeah, I'll have a look at the innings break. Aguero. Green looking the more comfortable of the two batsmen. 5 runs off that over. Well, they fell 1 run short of the predicted 6. 2 overs left. 7 for 118. Oh, 7 for 119, sorry. That 1 run could become very, very valuable at the back end of the game. Let's see if I even got it first. Let's make sure that it came through. What's this? Let's see that I got it first. 1 message request. Okay, there we go. All right. We'll have a look at that in the innings break. Speaking of predictions, UFC only fans over there on the YouTube chat. Waste a World of Sports, of course, live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. Speaking of predictions, UFC saying that the Rabbitohs will not make the top 8 in the NRL this year. Well, I think he is stark raving mad. Start of the 19th, Morris pushes this away to the offside for a single. They'll want a few more dot balls here, the Scorchers. 7 for 120. We're at least getting up to a game could be made. 130, 140. Some early wickets, and you just never know, right? You just never know. We've seen some games turn around from much different positions. Much worse positions, I should say. Andrews opens the face, guides it through the offside out to point for 1. They're not going to do all that much big hitting, these two, but like I said, just go 6 and over. Get that score up there to at least something to bowl at. Morris has been going well. 3 for 31. Green pulls this one away. Can't beat the man on the fence. And another single. The last 30 balls have been 43 runs and 2 wickets at 8.6 and over. That's actually not too bad, considering that 19 of those 30 balls have been these two. Andrews backs away, gives himself room, skies it. Has he got enough on it? Long on is coming around under it, but it's gone over the top for 6. Crucial runs. Critical runs here for the Thunder. Hasn't gone all the way. We'll have a look. It is a 6er. Well, these are crucial runs at the back end. Oh, they're giving themselves something to bowl at here. Some nervy moments for the Scorchers in the back end. 2 deliveries left. Morris to Andrews. Backs away again. Scoops it over the offside. Into the gap for 4. This is incredible batting. The bowler's fallen over. Morris. Oh, she's not over yet, folks. It's not over yet. They are lifting themselves to not a good score, but at least something to bowl at. Harper, my team, I'm afraid, is the Brisbane Heat. Not having the greatest of years. The Heat. Andrews steps across the stumps and just scoops it to the onside. They want 2. No, just the single. Andrews wants the strike. Ollie, ahoy there. Is it Ollie? O, lowercase L, uppercase L, I, uppercase E. Ollie. Seven for 133. 19 overs gone. They have given themselves something to bowl at here, at least. Berendorf to bowl the last. That's all good, Ollie. We don't like normal around here. We're all about the weirdness. Jack Smith, what's my beer of choice? Berendorf into Andrews. Lofts it over the offside. Into the gap for 4. Well, this is glorious batting. Andrews leading the way here. The Thunder has suddenly got themselves a target to bowl at. And this game is far from over. Some early wickets on the back of this score. Jeez, where has this guy come from? Tom Andrews, what was his previous high score? Scoops it now on the leg side for 4 more. 1 bounce over the rope. This is glorious batting. A previous high score in T20s of 27. His previous high score, it says there on crickinfo.com. And he's now 22 off 9, making it look easy out there. Now he drives it down the onside, over the top of long on for 6. I tell you what, they don't just have a score to bowl at now. They might be slightly on top. Move over Glenn Maxwell. There's a new big show in town. And his name is Andrews. 28 off 10. 14 off this over from Berendorf so far. And this could possibly be... It's a no ball. It's been called a no ball. It's going to be a free hit. More runs incoming. He has overstepped by a mile. Well, this game is turning. Boy, is this turning again. And it's wide outside off. Slashes this one away out to deep point. And he's down the non-striker's end, thankfully for the Scorchers. Seven for 149. They've given themselves more than something to bowl at now. What an incredible turnaround. We were talking about 120, 130 being a reasonable score. And Andrews has just lifted them up here, taken them on his back. And they could end up at 160 still. And 160 would be a very defendable target. Wide outside off. Green slashes it away. There's a man out there again at point. And just the one. Andrews with presumably his new highest score, 29 off 11. And the Thunder 7 for 150. Oh, the game of T20 cricket, right? It just swings. Seesaws, roller coasters. Black bats it back down past the bowler, into the gap, just the one. Coming back for two, that's well run. They push hard for two. 7 for 152. Andrews goes to 31, one ball remaining. Good Lord. 6 for 102 with 4 overs left. And they have pulled this off. The heist of the century. Final ball of the innings. It's wide outside off stump, and Andrews drills it straight down the ground and over the rope for 6. 7 for 158. And the Sydney Thunder go into the innings break with all the momentum. And maybe, just maybe, even slight favoritism now. Let's see. I'll have a quick break and let's see what the odds look like when I come back. And then we'll read Aguero's prediction. Wow, 158. We were talking about 120, 130, crawling to that and at least giving themselves something to bowl at. Well, Andrews has just said, no, mate, we'll do better than that. 7 for 158. My God. Be right back here on the Wasted World of Sports. Game-changing indeed, Brody. The Sydney Thunder now going to the innings break, carrying all the momentum. They will come out to bowl with their tails up. A couple of quick wickets, and it could be game over. All right. Will Clark says, as a Scorchers fan, I'm embarrassed at how we've finished our bowling innings all year. Unbelievable. What an unbelievable end. All right, let's have a look. So, our good friend Aguero in the chat room has sent through. Why is Amazon open? I don't want Amazon open. Okay, so Sixers win their next 2 matches. They finish first. Quite possibly, yes. Let's see what you say. All right, okay. All right, definitely in the way that you've explained it now. So Sixers win their next 2 matches and finish first because the Hurricanes lose versus the Renegades, but win their other matches and finish second. Thunder lose both games, including this one, and finish 4th. Stars lose versus the Hurricanes, finish 5th. Heat lose both games. They finish 8th. Scorchers win versus Thunder and lose versus Strikers. They finish 6th. Oh, by the way, this is a Renegades fan dictating how the Renegades are going to make the finals still. Scorchers win versus Thunder and lose versus Strikers. They finish 6th. Strikers lose versus Sixers but win versus Scorchers. They finish 7th. Renegades win both games and finish 3rd. Or the Thunder win today against the Scorchers. Scorchers win against the Strikers. Thunder 3rd. Renegades 4th. Well, there you go. I mean, that's the beauty of BBL 14. There are so many different scenarios that can still take place. Now, I'm fairly certain that the finals format for this year is just 2 semi-finals and then a decider. It used to be a top 5, which was ridiculous, in my opinion. I don't think any competition should have finals qualifiers. More than half the competition qualifying for finals. It should never happen, in my opinion. So I think they've got it right this time. A top 4, 2 semi-finals, and a final. That's all you need. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Jack Roberts, by the way. Thank you, Jack, for the 9 GGs. Very much appreciate that, mate. Yeah, the Hobart Hurricanes are looking very, very good, in my opinion. Very good. Hard to see them being beaten, to be honest. But we'll see. I mean, the Hurricanes have been in similar situations in the past, haven't they? And they haven't quite got the job done. What's the saying? Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's how it's been for the Hurricanes. Runner-up a couple of times, but never been able to win the big dance. Got a feeling that will change this year, though. They are actually looking really, really solid. Could be the year that all changes for the Hobart Hurricanes. Innings break here. The Sydney Thunder have somehow elevated themselves to 158. A defendable total. Pressure on the Scorchers. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. What's that done to the odds? The Scorchers had this game in the bag. And those last 4 overs, I reckon maybe, just maybe, oh, okay, yeah, right. So Sportsbet still has the Scorchers $1.65 favourites, $2.20 for the Thunder. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. The Sydney Thunder took all the momentum into the innings break there. They took all the momentum. Is there any tennis on? Or does that start later? Let's have a look. Nothing on the TV anyway. Nothing on free-to-air yet. Oh, well. Not to worry. What team could you see added to the BBL? Darwin or Gold Coast or Newcastle? They've talked about it before. I don't think it'll happen. They've spoken about it before. I don't think expansion will happen anytime soon. But, I mean, I don't think there's a need for a team at the Gold Coast. The Brisbane Heat used to play a couple of games down the Gold Coast. Oh, tennis is on Channel 9, is it? Thank you. Let's have a look. I know we don't have a whole lot of time. I didn't scroll down far enough to get to Channel 9. We don't have all that much time for the innings break. And, well, Nick Kyrgios, I've switched over, and he is pumping the crowd up, the home crowd. He's broken serve, has he? Oh, no, it's on serve. He held his serve down 2 sets to love, and he's held serve to go 4-3 up in the third. And he has just pointed up to the crowd to rev them up and get them behind him. I thought that I saw something about Nick Kyrgios pulling out of the Australian Open, but here he is. What's going on here? Oh, oh no! I've switched over to standard definition. I can't do standard def. Need HD. Ham and Cheese says, "Can we watch the tennis instead?" No, I want to see this run chase. I am so amped for this run chase. Sydney Thunder have set a total. It is game on. Game on. And I am all here for it. I've also ended up on Tuesday somehow. How have I ended up on Tuesday? All right, where's my HD? Seven HD. There it is. Okay. All right. This is why I should never change channels during a live stream. Yes, Nick Kyrgios is two sets to love down, but he has fought back to keep it on serve in the third, and he's up 4-3 in the third. I've just turned the TV off now somehow. How did that happen? See, this is why I should not mess with things during live streams. Matt Colkin says, how bad is California with the fires? Absolutely. We were talking about it a little earlier as well, and absolutely devastating, of course, for all involved. And once again, I just want to say, to speak for the ones that can't speak for themselves, a thought for all the animals caught up in this scenario as well. This is going to be an immaculate run chase. Oh, a stabbing at Yamanto. Jeez. A stabbing at Yamanto Coles. Tom Andrews was in your super coach team. Cairns land-based fishing. Wow. And if he comes out, he bowls too, right? Imagine if he comes out and gets some wickets as well. You'll be laughing. Laughing. So, to open the batting, it's looking like, well, Finn Allen, obviously. Finn Allen to open for sure. You would have to think. And it looks like Sam Fanning, yeah. Aaron Hardy coming in at first drop, and then Cooper Connolly. Absolutely, Ham and Cheese. Very glad to hear that your friend made it out safe. Actually, I wonder if I can do split screen on this TV. If I could do split screen, I could have the tennis on down the bottom. As Fernley has held serve, and it's 4-all in the third. Looking comfortable there, the Brit. Oh, God, yeah, so he was over for a holiday. He's not even from there. Yeah, that sucks. It's certainly not something you think of, is it? You plan a nice holiday away for yourself. Oh, Los Angeles, sweet. And then you go over there and the entire bloody thing burns. Unlucky. Seven for 158. I feel like they're taking a very long time here in the innings break. Me either, ham and cheese. Me either, mate. Yeah, it's just never happened. It's not too late, I suppose. Not too late for any of us. I mean, I probably wouldn't advise Los Angeles right now, but yeah, it's not too late. I want to go to the Philippines. I want to go to Japan. I definitely want to go to South Korea. Seven for 158. The teams are back out there. I've got quite a few things on the bucket list. I'd love to see a live game about okay. I'd like to see Major League Baseball live because I've seen baseball live. I go and watch the local team, the Brisbane Bandits, in the Australian Baseball League. I go and watch them all the time, but I'd like to see Major League Baseball in America. I know it's not sports related, but I would love to see a WrestleMania for the atmosphere. Mads, can the Scorchers win this game? Absolutely. Look, I would think that the Scorchers are still slightly on top. The Thunder, though, are taking all the momentum into the innings break. A couple of quick wickets. How is wrestling not sports related? Well, because it's entertainment more than an actual sport, isn't it? And that's no disrespect. I love my wrestling. We are going to be streaming the Royal Rumble right here on the Waste to Water Sports. So I love my wrestling, but it's more an entertainment piece than a sport. When will that stream be? I believe the Royal Rumble is on February the 2nd for Australia. February 1st, I think it is American time, which it would be the 2nd. Yeah, I think. Ben Allen to take the strike. Fanning gets off the mark on the very first ball. And it's Hasnain bowling. Ben Allen needs a big score. Squares him up and fended away for a dot ball. Well bowled. Let's update the scorecard there. There we go. All right, we are up and running here for the run chase. Allen swings at this one, drives it down the ground for 4. Good, solid hit. Confidence there from Finn Allen. Five 4 Kyrgios in the third. Still on serve. Five runs off this over so far. A good one for the Scorchers. Hasnain, he's got to get a bit further outside off. Well, that's better bowling. Gets the inside edge. Jay Lyons, if you had to choose one sporting event to see, it would be the Super Bowl. I wouldn't mind a corporate box. Just to be able to say you've experienced it, right? Because personally, I'm not a fan of American football. But imagine if you had a corporate box, you're just hanging out, soaking in the atmosphere. Up in a nice comfy box with drinks on the house. Allen drives this one away, square on the offside for 4. What a shot. Well, he looks in fine form. Ben Allen has got to the timing, the pace of this pitch immediately. 9 runs off this opening over. A good one for the Scorchers. They have to match at least what the Thunder did, you would think. Knowing that when the spinners come in, it's going to slow down. Hasnain, last ball of the opening over, slower. An on-leg stump, push back down for a single. 10 off the first over. It's none for 10, obviously. 1 over gone. Required run rate, 7.77. The Thunder, though, God bless them, they've made a game of it. And that's all we can ever ask. Oh, it's Deuce. Deuce in the tennis. Fernley serving. Nick Kyrgios making a fight here in the third set. He obviously has to win it. If he loses this set, that's the end of the match. So he's got to push hard here on Deuce, get the advantage, get the break. And oh, no, it hasn't updated yet. None for 10. Now, here we go, McAndrew. McAndrew has got the ball here for the second over. And he's got the wicket. Finn Allen has lofted straight to the man in the covers. Oh, the Sydney Thunder. The Sydney Thunder have swung this game on its head. The last 4 overs of their batting innings. And the first 4 overs of their bowling. Finn Allen is gone. They needed a lot more out of Finn Allen here tonight. They've needed a lot more out of Finn Allen for this entire tournament, if we're being completely honest. And the Scorchers are 1 for 10 and in trouble. They'll be feeling the pressure. Nick Kyrgios has got break point and set point to keep this match alive and win the third set. Oh, and now it's advantage Fernley. So a couple of points ripped through there. What happened there? He must have served an ace or a couple of aces and just ripped back the advantage. Whoops. Aaron Hardy out to the crease under a lot of pressure. 1 for 10. The Sydney Thunder, a dream finish to their batting innings, a dream start to their bowling innings. McAndrew right on the money again. Hardy fends it away to the offside for a dot ball. Very solid forward defensive stroke there, like it's test match cricket. One for 10. Oh, this game, I'm sure, has got some swings and roundabouts left in it. No, this is going to be a run out. Gone. The second wicket falls. Miscommunication in the middle. The Scorchers are capitulating before our very eyes. It was a yes-no call, and he has hung his partner out to dry here. Benning went charging down the wicket and was sent back in no man's land. A direct hit, and the second wicket falls. Oh, the Scorchers are in big trouble. The yes-no call. And he has just hung his partner out to dry here. Hardy has left Fanning high and dry. It's 2 for 10. Two wickets in the over. The Sydney Thunder well and truly on top now. I did say it was $2.20 for the Thunder at the innings break. And I did say I feel like I was a bit closer than that. I guarantee you the Sydney Thunder are now favourites with the bookies. $1.50 favourites. And the Scorchers have blown out to $2.50. If you're into some sports trading, it's time to now throw some money on the Scorchers. Because Cooper Connolly could very well just bring those odds in a little bit. 1 and over this has been from McAndrew. The yes-no call left him high and dry. There was never a single there. Never. Never. Two wickets, no runs. That has been this over so far. Hardy. Swing and a miss. Oh, they're under the pump here. The Scorchers. Nothing is going right. God, I'm trying to remember the last time that I got a tip correct here in the Western World of Sports tipping contest. Final ball, McAndrew, and they push hard for a single here. A direct hit would have had him again. Dear God. That was a misfield there at mid-off. A direct hit would have been another run out. It's 2 for 11. What an over. All right, so anybody who plays Hit Wicket, the mobile cricket game, I've actually started an alliance. I've created a Wasted World of Sports alliance. So anyone who plays the game and has it, Hit Wicket, plays the game, would like to join my alliance, do feel free. Wasted World of Sports, it's called. Under the pump here. The Perth Scorchers, though, have started as worse as they could possibly imagine. 2 for 12. Hopefully, King Connolly can save the day. Yes. Cooper Youngblood Connolly. Edged down to third man. Protection on the boundary for the Thunder. Just a single. And here we go. Cooper Youngblood Connolly to face his first delivery. J Lions, $2.30. Thunder looking the goods. This is what I love about Big Bash cricket as a sports trader. The constant swings. You make a lot of money. Ash says Stars to make the finals. Connolly to face his first ball. Hasnain in. Edged through the vacant slip cordon for 4. Hands on the heads. Why was there no slip? They're on top here. They are well on top here. Why was there no slip to sink the dagger in? A pure edge there from Connolly. There's no slip in place. It's 4 runs. Well, the TV commentators right now are saying that was a purpose shot. I'm not convinced. That seemed like a genuine edge to me. That one was purposely played, and he's picked out the man at short, fine leg, just a single. Matt Colkin says, what do I think about Cooper in the test squad for Sri Lanka? Fantastic. I mean, it's unfortunate for the Scorchers, isn't it? Because if they carry on in the competition, when does the test team leave for Sri Lanka? Because if they carry on for the tournament, they're going to have to do it without Cooper Connolly. And it looks like the third set is going to a tiebreaker there with Nick Kyrgios. Hardy drives hard at this one. Turns it on the leg side. They're going to push for 2. Well, if it was a good throw, they might have been in trouble. Boy, they're under pressure here, the Scorchers. Two for 20, 2.4 overs gone. No panic really needed. 8.02 is the required run rate, which is more than gettable. That's a fairly standard run chase. Hardy back on strike. Hasnain bangs it in short, over the head. That'll be 1 over the head. 1 over shoulder height. Michelle, if you're out there in the chat room, there's a question for you. If the Metal Maiden is out there in the TikTok chat, there's an Aussie rules question. That's the one. 12th. There you go. Final ball here, Hasnain. Pushed away to the offside for at least 1. They think about the second. They're happy with the single. 2 for 21. 3 overs gone. The Scorchers. Ay, ay, ay. 2 for 21. McAndrew back into bowl. Hardy, a big swing and a miss at this. Trying to hoik it over the onside. Burnley up 1-love in the tiebreak. Third set. Kyrgios trying to stay alive there in the Australian Open. Wide down the leg side. Just got the line wrong this time. Two for 22. Richie. 2 for 22. 3.1 overs gone. Hardy goes after it. Lifts it onto the leg side. Over the rope for 6. They needed that, the Scorchers. 2 for 28. Hardy has said enough fluffing about. It's time for the big ones. And it's only just made it over. But only just is all it needs to be. There's some great chats going on tonight, Michelle. UFC, our good mate UFC over in the YouTube chat room is suggesting that the Bunnies have absolutely no chance of making the 8 in the NRL this season. Hardy lifts this off the pads for 6 more. Tommy Dawson, ahoy, mate. Back-to-back sixes here for Hardy against McAndrew. Scorchers move to 2 for 34. That required run rate dropping under 8 again. Obviously, I can't speak for AFL. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, are Collingwood even still good? Because I always just go, oh, Collingwood? I don't even know if Collingwood are even good anymore. 3 balls left. And a dot ball, well bowled from McAndrew. Tommy Dawson asks if I reckon the Adelaide Strikers will make the final. Now, we've been talking about this all night. Not the Adelaide Strikers specifically, but we've been talking about the Big Bash in general. BBL 14, mathematically, maybe not realistically, but mathematically, everyone is still in with a chance. Whether or not they do it or not, and that's been the beauty of the competition, everyone is still alive in this competition, the Adelaide Strikers included. Who do I go for in the NRL? I'd rather not say, because they're terrible. No, I'm okay. I'm content with the fact that my team sucks. I go for the Sharks in the NRL. I go for the Brisbane Heat in the BBL. I go for the Canterbury Crusaders and the Queensland Reds in Super Rugby. Final ball of the over. McAndrew bended back down the pitch. No run. 2 for 35 after 4. Even Stevens at the moment, I would have to say. Even Stevens. Tommy Dawson, you're a Manly fan. Nice. So we can call you Tommy Turbo. Oh, wow. Jacob Fernley is storming away with the tiebreaker in the third set. Nick Kyrgios, his Australian Open dream, hanging by a thread here in round 1. 2 sets to love down. It's gone to a tiebreak in the third. And Kyrgios is 1-6 down and serving a long way back there for Nick Kyrgios. 2 for 35 here, 4 overs gone. Look at the guns on that one. Jesus Christ, putting me to shame. Good Lord. I think that girl's like 8 years old and got bigger guns than me. Jhye Marshall, ahoy there, mate. I had backed the Scorchers in this one. Wide down the leg side from Sanger, and it's a wide called by the umpire. Not a good start. Lando Norris, the GOAT. Ahoy. Welcome back, mate. Squares him up, and that's off the edge. Appeal for LBW, half-hearted. They realise it caught the edge of the bat. No, live in Brisbane, Tommy. Brisbane. But I was born in Newcastle. Swept away from Hardy. Past fine leg for 4. Nice shot. Cooper Connolly has not really had to do anything yet. Hardy moves to 22. Matt Hawkins says Kyrgios should retire. I thought he did. I honestly thought he did. He's been doing media work all these years. I mean, am I right in that? I thought he did. I thought he left playing and he was focusing on all his media. Still clean bowled. Hardy's been bowled. Sanger gets this one to turn just enough and beat the outside edge. And Hardy has been bowled. They're still in it here, the Sydney Thunder. 3 for 40. Sanger floats it up. Pitches on leg stump. Turns to take middle and off. Big wicket. Because Hardy was doing the damage. 22 off 17, though. He's contributed well. It's on. This game is on. Ashton Turner out to the crease. Three for 40. Oh, boy. It is game on, folks. This one could be going down to the wire. Sanger down the leg side a little too far. Turner just whips it away. Out to deep square leg for a single. Get the fork out. This one's done. Reckons Jay Lyons. Jeez, I don't know about that. Cooper Connolly is the key wicket, though, I would have to say. Cooper Connolly has become the crucial wicket now for the Thunder. Sanger floats it up. Connolly just pats it back down the ground. No run. Current run rate, 8.48. Required, 7.78. Connolly turns it square on the leg side. They're going to push for 2. That was a risky second run, but the throw was not good. And they stole a second run there. 3 for 43. 5 overs gone. Oh, the odds. Let's check out the odds. This game is on a knife's edge. Sydney Thunder still short price favourites with Sportsbet. 165. The Scorchers 220. And here we go. These are the big overs now. Chris Green, the Bondi vet, is into the attack. Chris Green to bowl. 5 overs down, 3 for 43. Spin proved to be the difference for the Scorchers in the later overs when they brought the pace bowlers back in. They started to get tonked in those last 4 overs. These could be the key overs in the match. If the Scorchers survive this without too much damage to the wickets, they'll come out of it on top. If Chris Green... They're pushing for 2 again. A good throw gets him. Direct hit. He's gone. There's the breakthrough. Big wicket. Pushing for the second run. A direct hit from outside the circle. 1 stump to aim at. 1.5 maybe at most. And a direct hit. And Cooper Connolly's on his way. And that's the game. That's the game. A direct hit. And he is toast. Cooper Connolly's gone. The game is gone. The Sydney Thunder have won now, surely. Give me $5. Ahoy, mate. They did not need to push for the 2 there, the Scorchers. Connolly's on his way. 4 for 44. The Scorchers season hanging by a thread now. Perth need Glenn Maxwell to come in next. Well, unfortunately for them, I think Ashton Agar's coming in next. Actually, who is coming in next? Let's have a look. It's certainly not Glenn Maxwell. It is... Oh, Nick Hobson. Ashton Agar's in after this next wicket. Nick Hobson. Four for 44. Wow. Isn't it amazing? Like at the start of the tournament, we saw win the toss, bat first. The most recent games, the team batting first have eked out a score or just demolished a score and gone on to win. Oh, excuse me. Maybe it's time for teams to consider. Maybe it's time to consider having a bat first. Win the bat toss. Win the bat flip. Bat first. Everyone seems to choose to field first. Maybe it's time to have a bat first. Four for 45. Big trouble here, the Scorchers. Hobson pushes to the offside for a single out to point. Stop paying to watch cricket. Stream the Big Bash and the Women's Ashes for free. 7+ Sport. Green floats it up. Tempting. Trying to lure the big shot. No! For the love of God, don't even consider 2 runs. Boy. They nearly ran themselves out again. Four for 47. Oh, you need to reach level 5 to join my alliance. Is that right? Hang on. I'll see if I can change that. You're almost there. It is pretty easy to level up on the game. I'm just wondering if I can remove restrictions around that. Christ, I don't know. Turner gets underneath it, picks out the man at deep mid-wicket. Green takes the wicket. It is 5 for 48. The Scorchers, they might not even get to 100 here in this chase. Five for 48, all out for under 100 the way it's going. Ashton Turner, that was unnecessary, really. They only require 7.93 and over. Completely unnecessary to be going the aerial route. And I am not talking about the Little Mermaid. Check Sportsbet. Oh, Sportsbet will be incredibly short-priced favoritism now to the Thunder. They'll be near unbackable at this point. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's been suspended. It looks like betting's been suspended there. Sanger back into bowl wide outside the off stump, but within the lines, and a dot ball. 5 for 48. 6 overs gone. Yeah, how incredible has this been? Like, when BBL 14 at the start of the season, it was win the toss, field first, chase the runs down. It's kind of flipped, hasn't it? We're seeing now more often team batting first wins. 3 dot balls to start here for Sanger. Hobson can't get him away. Three balls left here in this over. Oh, a nice one. Straightens up. Hobson just jams the bat down in time. But it's 4 dot balls in a row. Shut up, David Warner. 2 balls left. Hobson turns it away to the offside. Looking for 2, maybe? No, just the 1. Oh, for the love of God, no more runouts. After 7 overs, the Thunder were 2 for 54. The Scorchers are 5 for 49. More wickets, less runs. Warner's into slip. Spores. Just pops that off the toes to the leg side. 2 singles off that over. It's 5 for 50. 7 overs gone. Exactly. Turner had everywhere else to hit it, but gives it straight to the fielder. And may I point out, absolutely no reason at all to hit it in the air. He could have hit it along the ground. There was absolutely no reason to go for that big hit. Will I broadcast the women's game tomorrow? Probably not, but what's the women's game tomorrow? I completely understand. That this is not a PC thing to say in 2025. I'll be called all sorts of things. I'll be called all sorts of horrible things in 2025 for saying so, but I don't give a shit. All I can be is completely honest, but I am just so not interested in women's sport. Cancel me, if you will, ladies, but